afternoon. The sun is trying to shine. Saturday afternoon too. Oh. Been here for a little while. Been down for a while. Duking around with this, that and a few other things. More sticks. Oh, I was cuffed off the ones I showed you the other day there. Should have resined them up and sorted them out. Yep, looks alright. Bit of finishing to do to it. Also was doing a bit, I don't mind, one of the videos before I was showing you some of the stuff that the film people use, the mixture for making wood look old, various other things too, but wood in particular, potassium permanganate. So I mixed up some the other day there. I'll let you see it because it gives you a really nice finish on the stick. This one's, the reason it's dark is because I stained one the other day there, and the longer you leave it, it's a crystals, and once you put water in it, the crystals dissolve and you end up with a liquid. Depending on how dark you want it, depends at times how much crystals you put per water. But I had mixed this the other day and forgot about it, and went this morning and went, oh, now you can add more water again, like I would. I said I'll try it, and especially this was a white, very white stick, so and as you can see, it's nice, it works out alright, and with a bit of antler highlighted on the top. Yeah, it's good. So this is what we did, and there's no 2 days the same when I'm doing things. Well, some bits of it are alright, some bits of it are not, like, you know. But potassium permanganate is good for that, like, you know. I'll need to get some more. I keep going, I'll need to get some more. So that was that. We're working on the other thing I was going to I'm still doing it with the old, I'm still creating the dowels with the old cutter. For whatever reason, we watched the old videos when I was in the big workshop when I had plenty of space and able to set things out and do things. Still using that. It works extremely well. It takes a little bit time to get it. And you end up with, I'll show you on this bit of, so you can see what it does, and then I just mark down. It gives you about 1.5 inches of a dowel. If I need longer dowel, I will extend, and I put the stainless steel screw into it and a pilot bore the centre and put the stainless steel screw in, mix up either some epoxy resin or epoxy glue, or resin, and wind it all in, and when you get that down through the middle off, there's nothing going to break that joint. Not bloody, it'll break everywhere else bar that. So it's extremely strong. So that was it. But I was up in the old, I'd forgotten actually I'd stored sticks there a while back there, and I was looking for, using all these odd shapes of antler, and I've got one here that is particularly odd and more oval, and you can see. Now what I've done, what I do with this antler, especially when there's a lot to be said about whether it's wild deer or farm deer, depending on what types of antler you get. And some people reckon that the farm deer antler are better because they're better fed. There's obviously fed supplements and all the rest of it at times, and so the antler tends to be better. I'm not particularly sure. It's hit and miss, but you end up, certainly with some of the antler, you end up with quite a lot of the porous centre of it. The outer casing can be shallow, But what I'll do with it is I'll bore out the hole and take it out. Hopefully I've got it deep enough. And what I do is pick the centre off, bore it out, and I leave the porous stuff there. But what I'll do when I'm finished at night is the last thing at night I'll mix up PVA wood glue, a touch of water in it, and I'll fill it to the brim and leave it. And you come out again the next day in the morning, it's absorbed into the side of the porosity, so it's actually stabilising it. And I do this because that part of the antler can get weak at times. I've found that to be the best way to stabilise the antler as such. Works alright for me, so thank yourself. But it is weak, no doubt about it. But I was using that Gorilla, water activated stuff for a while, and I still use it back and forward because it is quite good. It's an expanding glue, and I started using it a couple of years ago or so, and very good, especially if there's voids here or there, and it will pass out through everything. It will find its way and totally seal up the joint. But as I say, a lot of them I'm doing right now, it tends to be the resin, and it tends to be part of the West system, which is the marine system so I tend to use it. Can't get much better than that, like, you know. But I was up in the old part of the shed there, looking for a stick to fit the shape. I don't want to cuff, because it's a thin wall of hard antler on it, you don't really want to, can't buff off too much, you can't shape it back to the shank. So you're really looking to find something that's reasonably close to where you want to be in terms of size. And this is, believe it or not, is a piece of rhododendron. Not very often you get rhododendron that actually will fit the bill. Extremely strong. Must have cut this about a couple of years ago, I think. And as you can see on the end, I've actually bored it. Not got around to cutting them all yet, but the day's just about finished for me. The leg's sore. I've been juking around, but as you can see, once the dowel's made up and that bit of antlers need to get a good bit cleaner. It's not a fantastic bit, but it'll work alright. It'll be fine, and uses up. So, but the day's just about done for me. I will call it a day once the leg starts to get. So I don't want to fall again. As I said to you the other day, that took a tumble. Just about went there yesterday and all. Didn't say it to them. Once I start to get tired, the leg gets tired and get a bit of jip about it. I'm starting to carry it a bit too much. I shouldn't really be on it as much as I am, but what do you do? You know, you can't. I could sit in the house all the time, but I'm a small walk round where I live, just the scheme, around the housing scheme. Talking to people that I haven't seen for a while, like, you know. But word has got out, it's a small village, word has got out, like, you know, that I'm not dead after all, that, in fact, Stephen this morning, my favourite fisherman who I met in the shop, I was at the shop getting some milk and that this morning, had commented, I was like, oh, what's wrong to you, Jim? So I explained the whole situation where you've got to go through everybody that you meet now that hasn't met you before. They'll probably heard it all, but they'll want to hear it from you, which is alright. And so I was telling him all about it. He says, I was wondering, he says, I thought you were going downhill kind of quick. I went, oh dear, dear. Very good, Stephen, well done. I says, no, I says, well, we're certainly going downhill, that's for sure, like, you know, but we're not as quick as that, like. I said, I'm hoping to regain some more mobility as time goes on, but anyway. But he's a fantastic lad, Stephen, at times. Does a lot of sea fishing, and I reminded him this morning in a conversation, like, you know, because old Willie was asking me about, he was there and all, and he was asking the same thing, like, you know, and whatnot. And he's at an age where he's crippled with arthritis and all the rest of it, like, you know. But anyway, so I dropped in at, I said, oh Wally, I'll introduce you to Stephen, who's one of the best sea fishers that were about. I says, who on occasion, by the way, when he's had a good day, will drop off some fresh cod, pollock and one or two other things, depending on what he's at that moment. And it is beautiful. Oh, you can't beat it. You just can't beat it. And I do tend to supply him with a bit of lead back and forward, scrap lead, for he casts his own weights, and for him, and he's in a club. He's quite a successful fisherman. It's the only thing for by work that he's really interested in. But when he drops off the cod, it's it is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. A disappearing thing, of course, at some point or other. That kind of fish won't be there. No, they won't cause the problem. They only take the odd one here and there and whatnot. But these fishermen who watch these programs on the television with deadliest catches and all the rest of it, and those trawler men and everything, haul everything out of the bloody sea, like, you know. And then they're complaining bitterly because there's nothing there. They're not catching as well. Maybe too many people catching too many fish. They don't really want to stop. And the boats are worth that much money. I think they'll really grow. The banks own them, I think, more than anything. So there you are. But so I dropped a hint anyway, so I don't know whether we'll end up with one or two. I don't know. So, as I say, I'm still working away, and we're getting there. It has forced me to actually do more on it. So it's been in some ways it'll be a good thing, like, you know. But as I say, I'm starting to get tired now. I've been here a couple of hours or so and duking back and forward there, and I've got a small deck in front, which is great, but with this bloody moon boot on, it's a moon boot is the thing, like, you know. It's because it's designed in such a way to keep you off your feet. It's not meant to walk with, and so it's set up in such, I didn't realise at the time, but it's set up in such a way that you don't do a lot of walking or movement on it. I'm not comfortable as such, but it's certainly not easy to walk around. So anyway, there's the bell has rung, and I think it'll be an early bath, an early shower. Call it an afternoon. The sun's should as God, of course. I'll get finished here, and it's been a cold, bloody miserable couple of hours. Cold, not so much miserable, certainly cold. A bit of brightness back and forward, a lot broken cloud, which takes the heat right out of the sun. And where I am here, the wind coming in from the east, I'm not sheltered, it billows around the corners here. So, but as sure as God, I'll go in, get showered, change, sat down, and the sun will come out. It'll end up being a glorious afternoon. It's Sods bloody law. Anyway, we shall leave you to it, and hope the weekend's good for you. Catch you again. Cheers.